I've been sharing my story lately with everybody on social media for the first time. I've been very private for a long time, but right now there's people being inspired by what I've been through and what I've been able to overcome and how I've come to the other side of adversity. And now there's actually a state of peace, a state of abundance, a state of health, a state of mental toughness that has definitely shown itself, right, in all areas of my life. So sharing my story is important. Anybody who sees what I'm up to right now is seeing a transformation in progress. I'm constantly evolving because I'm doing this on a daily basis. Personal development, working on my physique, working on my mindset. When I work on my physique, it's because I'm really working on my mindset. So I've been on a streak for about 6 months since January. I promised myself since I recovered my health, and I've been in full health since the beginning of the year. I said I was going to use this energy to transmute all the negative shit that I've been through all these years and finally just come out on the other side a completely new person. And I did exactly that. So last year was one of the worst years for me financially. I was hit with my health, and obviously the health affects your business, and then other things just start messing up with your momentum, right? So from last year, having my business at its lowest peak and my health at a very struggling point, to this year where my health is now at a peak, my mindset's at a peak, and my finances also. I've made more money in this first half of the year than I have all of last year, for sure. And it's not a coincidence that these finances and this health came afterward, second to me working on myself, on my mindset, on my personal development. It's not a coincidence. It's definitely the who, not the how. I was focused on the how for a long time, and now I definitely focus on the who every single day, especially in the mornings. Wake up very early, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. And for me, it's been a personal transformation. I know there's a lot of people that don't agree with waking up early, or you can do whatever you want. However, I came from a background of disobedience. I was a rebel. At 13, 12, I wouldn't even come home sometimes. My mother would be worried. I'll come home, she's crying, or she would have to pick me up at the precinct as a juvenile. Kicked out of school, selling drugs at 13, 16, I was already selling cocaine, and just wrapped up in the wrong environment, the wrong circles, grew up around gang members, fighting, and it was not a good environment. I chose that environment, so I was not a victim to the streets. However, one day everything came back to me, and an event happened which almost took my life. I was stabbed, and I have 7 scar wounds in my body, but that's just a testimony to that God gave me a second opportunity to be able to completely turn shit into gold, and that's alchemy. That's all a matter of energy and transmutation. So that's exactly what I did all over again now, with all the wisdom, all the experience I've been able to gain throughout the last 10 years since that happened. That was 11 years ago. And the same year, actually in 2013, I stopped working for anybody else because I was fired from my last job. So I promised myself I wouldn't work for anybody else. I also was married that same year in 2013 to the love of my life, Catherine, and we're still married. So you can already tell that my actions speak louder than my words, because I kept my word to myself on that I was going to never work for anybody else again. And I've been an entrepreneur ever since that year, as well as keeping my word to myself on my marriage. Because yes, I give my word to my wife, but you also give the word to yourself when you marry, and that word is bond. So I always try to make my wife happy, just take the marriage to a mature state, and we have kids. It's a very loving and happy relationship that we have. It's a partnership, and she's like, my everything to me. So my word is bond, my loyalty, and my word to myself. And the reason I emphasize my word is because my word creates my life, and I stick to it. So it's very important, because if I break that, then I'm breaking myself. Even if I excuse it, then I'm just throwing dirt on it, and I don't want to throw dirt on my word, because then my self-worth goes down, obviously. So your self-worth goes up if you keep your word when you actually commit to something. Anyways, since that year, I've been a completely different Esteban. If you know me now, you didn't know me before, good, because you don't want to know. You wouldn't have want to meet me back then. I was cool, but it's just I was a whole different person. That I was always been a good person, but I was just not a good influence, is what I'm trying to say. So fast forward to now, I'm definitely successful right now. I have the wholesaling business in real estate. I love doing deals. I love negotiating. I love running a team. And I've done the most business in the last 6 months than I have in a long time. But more importantly than that, I became the who to attract all these opportunities. I've already been interviewed on 2 podcasts, which has been a pivotal moment for me because it's the first time I share my entire story to the world. The first one is on YouTube and the other one is coming out soon in English. The other one's in Spanish. So best of the both worlds. And that's where I am right now. I wanted to give that story because now you have more context of whatever other content I put out on social media. You know more about my background. A lot of people see that I post. However, you're gonna have more understanding of where I come from and who I am just by understanding this story right here. So guys, I hope this message reaches whoever it needs to reach. That's exactly where I'm doing it. I wasn't a big fan of posting my life, but now there was a moment where this year I just had this voice in me that said, more than said, I think it was just like a weight inside of me that needed to come out. And it forced me to get on camera and tell my story. For the first time on April 1st, I have a YouTube video, but it's in Spanish. It just happened naturally. It had to come out and I was like liberated, right? My energy just expanded ever since that day because everything that I had here, I have a lot of friends and even family that they don't even know my full story because I haven't shared it, or maybe I haven't sat down with them and actually told them. Some people are actually closed-minded, right? So it's like sometimes you just don't share it because of that, right? So now with a camera, nobody's interrupting me, nobody's giving me their opinion. I'm blocked out, I'm zoned out. This is all me for you, whoever needs to hear this message. And now you know who I am, sort of, but you're gonna get a lot more and the best of me because every day I'm getting better and better. So you're gonna get the best and the best of me every single day. That's for sure, and that's a promise. That's a word I made to myself and a word I make to everybody else. That I'm gonna deliver value, impact, good influence, and everything is in glory of God. Peace and abundance resides within us all. So it all started internally for me, and then that's when I fixed my internal self into a state of gratitude that I have it already, and I worked on the exterior every single day, waking up early, getting to the gym, getting my morning wisdom with a good book, a good few pages, getting my mind right, using my imagination onto things are good. I'm the eye of the storm, and getting through the phases of struggles, becoming the person that I needed to be first, because when everything else fails, it's not about how. At this time, you don't need to know the new strategy or what's working for him, what's working for them. You're gonna burn yourself out. You need to look inward. And that's exactly what I did. That's what I'm a testimony of. And that's what I'm here to share.